Hello everyone, welcome back to some more of the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time, we went into the special contents and did some of the, escapades. I was about to say shinobi escapades, but that's a different thing entirely, no. We did the attorney escapades, the first two. I'm not sure if I want to do the rest, but... well, I'll decide that later. What I want to decide now, however, what I want to say now, however, is another apology for the audio. I don't know why my microphone is peaking. Like it's not that far on OBS. It's literally like what, half the thing on OBS. So it's not like it's, you know, something big or anything like that. So that's weird. But I think I fixed the problem enough. I mean, instead of having the microphone like right at my collar, it's now like good what, few inches, maybe like a foot or two away from my mouth. So maybe it'll sound better then, maybe it won't. We'll see when this video is finished. So yeah, sorry for the audio if it sounded bad last time, and I'm also sorry if it sounds bad this time. Yeah, ever since I got this new computer, I'm trying to figure everything on OBS out again, so it's like, you know what I mean? It's gonna take some growing pains. But with that being said, we're gonna continue on to our next adventure. Next case, that being the adventure of the runaway room. Let's go by our save file. That's the escapades now. Where was it? There it is. Okay, so that was 3. Alright. Let's do this then. Case 3 already. What are we on? Episode 13? So that means we're doing like what, 6 episodes of case, so 6 episodes of case times 5 cases, that's 30 episodes. And that's not including if we're gonna continue on to Great Ace Attorney 2 now or not. Huh. Whatever then. Let us... Here, I hope the volume isn't peaking again. I'm talking like a normal kind of voice, so I don't know if you guys can like fully hear me. I don't want to turn down the music too much because then you guys can't hear that, but whatever. I'll see. Anyways. The Adventure of the Runaway Room. I always miss this, whatever. Episode 3. The Adventure of the Runaway Room.
Glancing over my records of the late last century, I am faced by the events of a certain bitter winter. A murder in a carriage as it sped through dense London fog in the dead of night. Though the victim and the perpetrator were the only ones inside, there were multiple witnesses to the crime itself. However, none could have imagined at the time that such a seemingly obvious case as this would end in such a horrendous manner.
Okay.
My friend, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, once said of the incident, "I believe that perhaps that case was indeed the prelude. The beginning of a long concerto that impressive Japanese student and I were to play together."
The prelude? I mean, I wouldn't say it's the prelude. Ooh, anime! Finally. This looks amazing.
Amazing. Is this really just a railway station?
Railway station or not, I've never seen such an enormous building before.
And look at all the steam locomotives. This country is incredible.
Alright.
I feel like I'm dreaming.
So this is the capital of Great Britain.
So, where to?
Oh, hello.
Climb aboard. I'll take you wherever you want to go.
In that case, This Supreme Court in Whitehall, if you wouldn't mind.
My pleasure. I suppose you're visiting students from abroad, eh?
Yes.
Thought so. Well then, I hope you enjoy your stay.
What is the view on
And
those carriages?
welcome to the centre of the world, Great Britain's mighty capital, London.
Okay, first off, what is the view on those things? Because like I'm imagining you're like sitting there and in front it's like you just see horse. Like, you know what I mean? Like you could look to the side and see stuff, but I don't know. Also, can I just say that? Okay, first off, that is loud. Whatever. Can I just say though that I love how Ryunosuke looks in that outfit? Like seriously, you probably just take off the hat or whatever, but looks amazing. Anyways, 18th of February, 9:21 a.m. British Supreme Court, Lord Chief Justice's office. What an incredible place! It's so imposing. It's almost suffocating. This place is breathtaking. Looks like a fortress. No, it looks like we're inside Big Ben. Literally, the clock's right there. There are some stone buildings like this in Japan now, of course. But they've only been built in the few short decades since we opened our borders to the outside world. An authentic example like this has a quite different impact, wouldn't you agree? A far cry from the wooden paper most of our buildings are constructed from. It's certainly unfamiliar. But I think there's more to the differences than just construction materials. What is this place again? This is the Lord Chief Justice's office, Naruhodo-san, in the Supreme Court of Great Britain. The Lord Chief Justice. We had instructions to report here at this time. If circumstances were different, we were supposed to let the Lord Chief Justice know that we had arrived from Japan. Right, but Kazuma can't, because he's dead. No. So instead we are here in a different capacity, as envoys to report the news of Kazuma-sama's death. Yes. And having delivered his or her message, an envoy's duty is done. So we'd have to return to Japan. If we want to remain here in Great Britain, I have to take Kazuma's place as a law student selected for this study tour. Right. And this is after what, 40 days of studying? Bro. Yes, which means you need the requisite qualifications as a lawyer. Which is what I've been studying for. Here in Great Britain, it is the Lord Chief Justice who appoints lawyers. So that's the second reason why we're here, to have you officially recognized as a lawyer. It's the only way that we'll be able to remain here in London. I hope I'm up to scratch. Yeah, well, I mean, he's been studying for 40 days, so, like, obviously, he or she should be good enough. Ooh, what voice should I give this one? Well, I know his voice is very deep, but actually, you know what? This is probably a perfect voice for him. No. Whatever. I'll keep that voice. I'll decide on the other guy's voice when it comes. Good morning. Sorry for keeping you. Oh. I trust you aren't too exhausted after your long voyage from Japan. It seems I'm 1 hour, 12 minutes and 47 seconds late. My apologies. No, don't mention it. We're never happier than when we're standing around with nothing much to do. How fortunate. So, introductions. I am Male Strongheart, Lord Chief Justice of the British Empire, Ugh, and I feel like a little mouse under an elephant's foot. Come on, Mr. Naruto, don't be a mouse. Oh, it's an honor to meet you, Lord Chief Justice Stronghearts. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Well, Mr. Naruhodo, welcome to London, the capital of our glorious British Empire. Sorry if I'm peeking again. I see that when I'm doing like deep voices like Cosmo, it's like whatever. So. Also, who is this man? Seriously, like Susato's here telling me, don't feel like a mouse, but then literally you have the guy staring daggers into your soul. Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Look at that. His normal sprite is literally just staring souls, unblinking. Whatever. So, what are your impressions of our capital so far? How do you like London? Oh, hell, please. I've been so nervous ever since I got here that I can't remember a single thing about the city. It's simply splendid, isn't it, Mr. Naruhodo? Oh? We had a wonderful view of London streets from the carriage on our way here from the station. Everything is so impressive and grand. I must say I'm almost lost for words. I'm glad to hear you like it. The city boasts train tramways, piped water, and gas, even cables supplying electricity. We spearhead every revolutionary new technology in the world. Every visitor into London is astounded. Oh, yes. Astounded is the word. Thank you for saving me there, Susato-san. And everyone seems so jolly and full of vigor. Yes. There's much excitement about the upcoming Great Exhibition we will be hosting here in London. Great Exhibition? What's being exhibited? Cultural and technological achievements from around the globe are to be exhibited here in our great city. It will be the greatest spectacle of its kind in history, and will make Paris's World Fair look like a toy shop. Gosh, I can hardly imagine how magnificent it's going to be. Great Britain's capital city is nothing but magnificent. London is the center of the modern world. Even if you do say so yourself. The sun will never set on our great empire. Perhaps it is fate that in these progressive times we welcome visitors from the land of the rising sun. I hope my voice actually sounds deep here, because I've noticed that, like, I guess because of how vocal cords are, it sounds different to me, because I can hear them going a whole different voice, but you guys, I probably have to go a little bit deeper to kind of actually, actually make it seem heard. I also do hope it isn't peaking again. Whatever, sorry. Whatever. Lord Chief Justice? I think you were expecting a student of law for this study tour, weren't you? Or weren't you? Absolutely. A Mr. Kazuma Sogi, if my memory serves. That's right! The British government has already been telegraphed a full report on the situation. I understand that the young man lost his life aboard the steamship bound for our shores. That's amazing! The news reached him before we even arrived. My country naturally extends its deepest condolences to yours. Oh, thank you. You know, on that subject, we actually need some kind of like Ace Attorney AU comic or whatever, or like even a light novel or something that kind of details the events of the story, if what's it called? Kazuma and Ryunosuke were there. You know what I mean? Like, how would that work out? Actually, yeah. I might do a bonus video kind of speculating everything once I finish either this game or the next game, you know what I mean? But it would actually be nice to see what's it called, like Kazuma's input on the cases and how that kind of affects Ryunosuke, and also how it might affect like Susato or something like that, you know? So that would be nice. I'll think of something. I'll think of some things. Whatever. Anyways. Thank you.
And you honored this appointment specifically to inform me of the news?
Yes. We are here in the capacity of envoys from Japan to report the sad news in person.
They tell me you Japanese are people of protocol and courtesy, and I see that is true. And it is with some regret that I must inform you that the death of the young lawyer means this study tour arrangement can no longer proceed.
If you would just hear us out, Lord Strongheart.
What do you have to say, madam?
It's about the study tour. Mr. Naruhodo here would like to make a proposal. Me? You can't do it?
Would he now? Well, Mr. Naruhodo?
Yep. This is it then. The moment of truth. The thing is, Lord Justice, Lord Strongheart, I was wondering if you would consider allowing the study tour to go ahead.
Don't misunderstand me. Britain would ideally like to see the tour go ahead. But without a lawyer from your country, there's nothing to be done.
Well, in that case, what if there was someone else? Another lawyer from Japan, I mean.
Is this something I don't know? Only a single lawyer was invited to Great Britain from your country, and that was Mr. Asobi. At least, that is what I've been led to understand.
Well, the thing is, this isn't really going well at all. I just can't seem to find the right words to say to this man. Mr. Naruhodo! I could ruin things here if I'm not careful. What am I gonna say? If there's someone else here, if there was someone else here from Japan who could be described as a lawyer, it's... well, it's no one. No one at all. No. It's certainly not Mr. Sato, so... it's me. I can do it.
Is that so?
I mean, I don't actually have any qualifications as such, but...
No qualifications, you say? And yet you still claim to be a lawyer?
I have acted as a lawyer in court before. Only once, as it happens. And I had Kazuma to help me, and I was the accused. But, plus some of the details. I've been spending every spare moment on the journey here to Great Britain to study. I learned all about British law and court proceedings while I was on board the SS Buria.
The voyage from Japan is some 50 days, I believe. Not what you might call a full education. To become a qualified lawyer here in Britain, not only do you need a university degree in law, you must also complete several years of training.
I realize it's far too short a period of time, but I can't just go back to Japan. Kazuma, Mr. Asogi's journey had only just begun. Coming here in the study tour was all he thought about. I have to carry on and do everything he plans to do. I know it must sound like I have an overly inflated opinion of myself, but I would do anything to prove I have what it takes. Any test you care to set. Just one chance. That's all I'm asking for. Please.
31 seconds.
Sorry?
Your opening statement there, Mr. Naruhodo. It was 31 seconds long. Not too brief, not too protracted. A perfectly judged appeal, I would say. Which is a skill that would stand you in good stead as a lawyer.
Which makes sense because, according to the escapades, Naruhodo Ryunosuke is canonically good at public speaking and giving speeches. Just clever little detail for anyone who saw the last episode. Oh, thanks.
So, you're willing to put those words to trial, are you? Well, I'm all for entertainment.
Huh?
But let me ask you one thing first, sir.
Yes.
You say you intend to do everything Mr. Osogi planned to do. Are you firmly set on that path?
Well, yes. That's my intention.
I see.
Am I imagining things? Or did this expression just alter a fraction there all of a sudden?
Very well. You have your wish. I'll give you a chance. A test to become a specially certified lawyer. Whether or not you pass or fail is entirely down to you.
Really? Alright. So what is this test that I have to do? So, what form will the test take exactly?
Tell me, Mr. Naruhodo, what do you consider the role of a lawyer to be?
Well, defending people, of course.
Well said. So, let's have you defend someone.
Huh?
Your timing is perfect, in fact. There's an ARP trial about to begin later today. No advocate has been appointed for the defense as yet, so this will be welcome news.
Today? Straight away?
If you manage to secure a verdict of not guilty, you'll have passed my test. What could be simpler?
Ugh. How do I get myself into these situations? Well, could I ask, what sort of trial is it, Lord Strongheart?
Yes. Good question. I remember. It's a murder trial.
Murder?
An extremely simple case, I understand. You really can't lose.
That's easy for you to say. Or, that's easy to say.
But I should mention, just in case, if the defendant is found guilty, he will be, of course, be sentenced to capital punishment.
Capital punishment? He'll be put to death?
Here in Great Britain, murderers are sent to the gallows without exception. Presumably you read that much in your short C-based introduction to British law.
We can't possibly agree to such a test. We would be toying with a man's life.
I am the Lord Chief Justice, and I've decided it's acceptable.
But you can't do that, can you? Well, I mean, I guess we kind of have to take the test, don't we? Because then, if we take the test, then we'll have to fight in court for his life, or basically be toying with his life or whatever. But if we just leave right now, there's a good chance he'll just die anyways because there's no one to defend him. So he'll have to defend himself, and, well, let's just say not everyone is as lucky as Ryunosuke. Anyways.
There's no need to overcomplicate this. All you have to do is ensure that you don't lose.
So, The defendant may live or die, depending on how well I perform in court. If I lose, he'll be hanged.
Mr. Naruhodo, you've come to me claiming to be a lawyer. If you want me to take you serious, you need to... Sorry. If you want me to take you seriously, you need to prove you're willing to do a lawyer's job. And you say you intend to see through the will of your compatriot, Mr. Asogi. I would like to understand just how far you're willing to go in order to make that happen.
He's testing my resolve.
What's the matter? You've fallen silent. I'm sorry, but time is pressing. The trial begins shortly. I need an answer from you now. What's it to be?
What do I say? Do I agree to this absurd test? I'll have to. Alright then. If I have to give you a decision now, my answer is... I can't do it. I can't get the words out.
15 seconds. Your decision-making needs work if you want to be a lawyer. That was too slow. So, it's as I suspected, is it?
Sorry?
You have noble intentions, but lack the resolve to see them through. The test is cancelled. Thank you for stopping by. Go and acquire your ticket for passage back to the East tomorrow. This conversation is over.
Yes, Lord Strongheart. Thank you for offering me a chance. Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry, Mr. Sato, but what could I do? It's alright. I understand. You do? It's an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. But resolve has absolutely nothing to do with it.
What are you trying to say, madam?
I think what Mr. Sato means is that no matter how badly I'd like to be recognized as a lawyer and stay here in Great Britain, to risk another man's life by treating his one and only chance at a trial so trivially would be utterly unforgivable, and I feel the exact same way. I'm sure the defendant won't see this trial as a test, as some kind of experiment. Oh yeah, I guess that's right. For them, it's literally life or death. Or life or jail, but really life or death, to be honest. To us, it's some test they need to pass, but for them, it's real. So it's like, you know? A lawyer may fight for his clients in court day after day, but for each one of those clients, the particular day they stand in the dock may be the only chance they have to fight to prove their innocence. No, I was wrong. I'm not qualified to do that job yet. I'm sorry for wasting your precious time, Lord Chief Justice.
Wait, Mr. Naruhodo.
Oh, was there something else?
It's approximately 20 minutes by carriage to the Old Bailey from here. If you leave immediately, you should still be there in time.
But I just said that...
I was quite serious in what I told you. The defendant in this case has literally no one to advocate for him.
What?
At this point, he can't hope to find someone to represent him. The trial will begin without a defense. And if that happens, there's only one possible outcome.
Yeah, literally what I just said.
He will receive the most severe sentence the judge can pass down.
But that's awful.
But that is the truth.
Why does it have to be like this?
Please don't expect an answer to every question. The cold, hard truth of the matter is that there is only one person now with a chance to save this man from a very miserable end. And that is you.
I'm really his only hope?
So, what do you say now, madam?
Me? What do you mean, Lord Strongheart?
You said it wasn't an easy decision to choose whether to defend a man in these circumstances. And I agree. But in my estimation, it is purely and simply a matter of resolve.
Oh,
Our time is up here. I have a meeting to attend. I must leave in 2 minutes and 16 seconds. So, venture into our great city and enjoy yourselves.
jeez. He's gone. The Old Bailey, huh? If we're going to do this, Mr. Naruhodo, we must leave at once. Alright, Godspeed we go then, right? Wait, is there anything Shadow has to say? No, okay, good. Let's go to the Old Bailey then. See the place that we will become very familiar with. 18th of February, 9:45 a.m. The Old Bailey, Defendant's Antechamber. Oh, thank goodness. Oh wait, before that, I wanted to mention something. Another pun! Chief Justice, Male Strongheart. Get it? Male Strongheart, Male Strong. And his original 3DS name in the 3DS version was Vortex something. This is a clever thing I saw. Oh, thank goodness we're in time. There's still 15 minutes before the trial begins. I never knew a horse-drawn carriage could go so fast. I thought my teeth were going to rattle loose. Did you hear what I said to the driver when we climbed aboard? Get us to our destination in 5 minutes, driver, and there's a guinea in it for you. It's one of my favorite lines from the Herlock Sholmes stories, and it worked quite perfectly. I'm not sure why you're so pleased. I thought we were going to die, and we had to pay gold for the privilege. Well, at least we arrived here before the trial started. Yes, I suppose there's that. Anyway, I don't understand it. The court clerk said the defendant should be here, but there's no sign of him at all. Yeah? Is he already in the courtroom? So, this is the Old Bailey. Even this room for the defendants to wait in is grand. Are you alright, Mr. Naruhodo? Feeling tense, that's all. This place gave me the same sense of foreboding that I remember from the Supreme Court in Japan. An oppressive air, almost as if the building itself was going to crush whoever is about to be sentenced. It feels like only yesterday that I was the one about to be crushed. Yes, whoever the man you're about to defend is, I imagine he's feeling very alone at this moment. I forgot it was this guy, Irish accent, top of the morning to you, madam, sir. What are you doing, following me here? Things are fat desperate, are they? That's the best Irish accent I can do. Deal with it. Sorry? Won't you look at those expressionless faces? From the east, are yous? We're from Japan, yes. Ah, Japan, is it? Right, say no more. So, how much do yous need? No, we're just here because... No need to explain, fella. I've been there myself, so I have. No place to go, none to eat, barely a penny to your name, or no one in a strange faraway land. Well, Actually, we haven't found a place to stay yet, no. 'Tis grand, 'tis grand. Let me start by giving you 1,000 guineas. Say that now. 1,000 guineas, yeah? Please, Mr. Sutter, you don't have to shout. But 1,000 guineas is... It's enough to put an entire mansion in the most prestigious area in Tokyo. What? 'Tis nothing to me at all. I like to ensure I have sufficient funds to weather a rainy day, you see. I have enough funds to buy the City of London 2 or 3 times over. Could that much rain even fall in one day? Well, even so, we couldn't possibly accept such a large sum of money. Ah! That hit me in the eye. Don't get me wrong, fella. I'm not giving it to you no strings attached. I'll be wanting you to do something for me. Oh? To be honest, 'tis a little embarrassing. The trial that's about to begin, you see, is for my good self here. I'll be in the dock. So now, what I want you to do is come along with me and stand there beside me. Officially, you'll be my lawyer, but that's just a little detail now. Oh, well, the thing is, don't worry about a thing. All you have to do is stand up there next to me. Nothing more. Otherwise, you see, the trial is going to start without me having any kind of representation at all. So it was true. The Lord Chief Justice wasn't making it all up. I'm terribly sorry to have to ask, but does that mean you're the defendant in this trial? Western Blazes, do you not know who I am? Me? One of London's biggest names? No, sorry, we've only just arrived in the city, you see. I see. I suppose that isn't altogether impossible. Well, just next to Hyde Park there in the centre of London, there's another beautiful park. Sorry? A park? What? It's called McGinty Park, full of blossoming flowers in the spring and singing birds and whatnot. I donated it to the city, so I did. An entire park? In central London? A city of smiles. That's my vision for London. There's nothing Magnus McGill wouldn't do for the city and its queer old people. That's amazing. I mean, really extraordinary. Ah, but now they have the gall to say I'm a good-for-nothing criminal. Me, Magnus McGill. What is the matter with the London police, I asked you? Alright, don't pass out. Jeez. Mr. Naruhodo, perhaps now would be a good time to introduce ourselves, while the gentleman catches his breath? Good idea. Mr. McGilded, the thing is, we're actually here in London to study British law. We're law students, on a study tour from Japan, you see. So, if you don't have a lawyer for the trial yet, and you'd be happy to put yourself in our hands, we'll do our best. What was I after saying, you daft idiot? I've given you 1,000 guineas to stand up here next to me, haven't I? Well, yes, but I wasn't really offering to just stand up there next to you. Oh, I think I see what's going on here. Sorry. I know what you're thinking. This chancellor fella claims to have more money than the Queen. But if that's true, why the blazes can't he hire the finest lawyer in all of England? Because he didn't. That's the only explanation. Well? Well, no. No, actually, not at all. That's not what I was thinking at all. Not at all. Although it is a little strange, to be honest. Why you don't have a lawyer, I mean. That will be the fault of the Reaper. Sorry? Did he just say Reaper? Aye, the Grim Reaper of the Bailey, Lord Baruch Van Zieks. He's the prosecutor. Also, yes, it's pronounced Van Zieks, not Van Zykes. I think. Well, it's Zieks, I think. Is it? Let me see now, because what I'm not going to do is go an entire walkthrough pronouncing somebody's name wrong. Pronounce Zeeks. There. So I'm looking it up. No, it's showing me information on Barrett Van Zieks. Is it just... Whatever. It's Zeeks, I'm sure of it. It looks like that way to me, at least. The prosecutor is the Grim Reaper? When Van Zieks stands for the prosecution, they call the accused his sacrificial lambs. Yeah? And to this day, in every single trial in which he's been the prosecutor, the accused has been damned. What? So, it's reached a desperate situation where there's no one willing to stand in the defense against the fellow at all. You could say he's a living legend of the Old Bailey. This voice is awful for me, Gilded. I don't know.
I was originally planning on going into a place like this.
You know, because he's rich. But, you know, I figure, you know, he's Irish, so I don't know. Like, I don't know how it would sound, to be honest with you. Nah. Whatever. Anyways.
Goodness! Lord Baruch Van Zieks. He must be an exceptionally talented prosecutor then.
Talented isn't the word you're looking for, madam. It's cursed. Cursed? What on earth?
The defendant is summoned on his counsel. Please make your way to the courtroom. The trial is about to begin.
His counsel? That would be me. Oh, just time! Well then, fella, don't let me down. But I don't know anything about the case. You haven't told me what happened. Until you showed your face here, I'd made up my mind, so I had. Sorry? I decided I'd have to defend myself in there. How would that have worked? But then you made an appearance. A student of law, wouldn't you know? 'Tis no accident, I can assure you of that. 'Tis fate. So don't get cold feet now, please. I literally know nothing about the case, or about this man who stands accused. In fact, the only thing I do know is that I can't just turn my back on him.
Mr. Naruhodo,
The man has no one. He'll have to stand alone in that courtroom, armed with nothing to defend himself. Yes, something like that Cosmo would never have allowed to happen.
counsel for the defense, what are you doing? If you wait for the start of the trial, you will lose your right to stand.
I'll be right there. Alright. Our first trial in Great Britain. We have, like, what, 15 minutes left? Let's go. We can keep going for a little bit. It's happening then. My first trial in a British court. I hope you're watching over me, Kazuma. Because I have no idea how I'm going to manage this. We have just enough time to get through the court introductions. So that's something. So this is the Old Bailey Court. Wow. So this is the highest court in Great Britain, the Old Bailey. The centuries of histories in this place is palpable, isn't it? It's so different to the Supreme Court in Japan. It feels both imposing and serene at the same time. The atmosphere almost makes words redundant. Whatever the country, determining a person's guilt or innocence is always a solemn affair. May I say something, Mr. Naruhodo? Yeah, what is it? Oh, yes, what? Your eyes look ready to pop out of your head again. I know. I just can't help it. Oh yeah, I mean, it's your second time in... Where did you people come from? This Batman guy looking here just quietly sneaked onto the stage, cloak, cape over his face or mouth like he's trying to be some wannabe Batman. Whatever. I think we'll give him Kurakuta's voice.
In Her Majesty, in the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby declare this court to be in session. We are here today to determine the guilt or innocence of Mr. Magnus McGilded. I now call upon the counsel for the prosecution and the defense to declare their willingness to proceed.
The prosecution is fully prepared. That must be the Reaper of the Bailey. He really does look fully prepared to dispatch his next poor victim to the underworld.
Counsel for the defense, you appear to be Eastern. Do you speak English?
Huh? Oh, yes, of course. Sorry. But the active for the defense was ready. And I couldn't be further from ready if I tried. Those eyes please me, Nipponese. They shroud your fear, your doubts, your trepidation. They run wild, clinging to some phantom notion of courage. The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb. Ugh. A cold shiver just ran down my spine all the way to the tips of my toes.
Now, Mr. McGilded.
Yes, my lord.
You stand accused of murder, a capital offense. You could be sent to the gallows if found guilty. Are you quite sure you wish to entrust your defense to this foreigner?
As I've always said, my lord, 'tis a grand thing to give opportunities to the young. Even if the fella is a student from some island off in the Far East. Is it not the British way to ignore the dangers to yourself and give those as forced a fair chance? I like to think that acts of chivalry do the great British Empire proud.
Listen to Mr. McGilded. What a fine gentleman London has.
Did you hear he donated £5 to the government the other day? So people are just singing his praises. Well, he is a public figure. Huh. It seems as though everyone in the public gallery is firmly behind Mr. McGilded. That's definitely welcome news. And he certainly has a way with words. I'm surprised he couldn't convince anyone to defend him.
Eloquently put, Mr. McGilded, and most laudable sentiments. Now, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I'm sure I need hardly remind you that you 6 members of the public have been selected for your impartiality. Are you ready to proceed?
Yes, my lord. If the task is to send rushes to the gallows where they belong, I'm more than ready. At the manor, his lordship always says we should dispose of rubbish promptly. Naturally, I agree. Ha! Any criminal's hell will soon be wishing their now set eyes on me. I feel a chill.
Oh, don't mind me, my dears. I'll just be getting on with my knitting. Must finish these bits for my grandson.
Ah, Mr. Naruhodo. Most people are... The jury. Yes, that's something we don't have in Japan yet. That's something we don't have in Japan yet. And won't have until, like, literally hundreds of years later for some reason. You'll see later on what I mean, but whatever. That's right. I've only ever read about it. But here in Great Britain, the court's final verdict depends on the opinion of these 6 jurors, and sorry to say, these guys are not important to me at all. Like, they literally change with every case. As such, I don't want to. I mean, I'm gonna admit it. I'm gonna do different voices for them each time. If I remember how they sound, great. If I don't blame me. The judge passes sentences according to the law, but jurors determine guilt based on common sense. So the defendant is ultimately judged from two completely different points of view. But how exactly do the jurors give their verdict? That, I don't know. But I'm sure it will become clear as the trial progresses. Yeah? Really?
Prosecutor Van Zeeks!
My lord?
It's been a number of years since we've seen you here in the courtroom. I thought you'd renounced your fame.
I'm known as the Reaper of the Bailey, my lord. Infamy rather than fame, I would say. But yes, 5 years have passed since I last spread my wings in this capacity.
So, what brings you back? Is there some change of circumstances of which the court should be aware?
I leave that to your imagination, my lord. So the Reaper has been out of action for 5 years. Well, I hate that he have to choose today of all days to make a comeback. Don't lose heart, Mr. Naruhodo.
As you wish, sir. The court nevertheless welcomes your return. Now then, opening statements, I think. A summary of the case, if you please.
Certainly, my lord. As your lordship is aware, this is a case of overwhelming simplicity. We must be the only ones in here who aren't aware. The incident took place in the late evening, 3 days past. The hour was some minutes after 10. The victim was a maker of building bricks known as in the community as Thrice Fired Mason. Sorry? Thrice?
He was a very accomplished craftsman. The bricks he fired were said to be almost indestructible.
The victim's corpse was discovered in an omnibus in service on the streets of London at the time. The dagger that had been thrust into the victim's abdomen is believed to be the ultimate cause of death. Here is the autopsy report from the investigating medical officer at Scotland Yard.
Thank you, counsel. I shall accept that and the photograph as evidence.
Alright, let's read what we have. We have the photograph and the thing. Okay. Let me look over this. I hope you guys like Van Zeeks' voice. I practiced a while for that. Unfortunately, when I'm recording, it sounds a lot different, but whatever. Anyways, I hope it sounds good at least. I was gonna give Strongheart's voice to him, but I think his voice is. I mean, from the way he looks, I would assume his voice is a lot more gravelly. So it's like, you know what I mean? Whatever. Anyways, let's look at this. So, internal hemorrhaging as a result of a stab wound to the abdomen. Death time 10 to 11 p.m. Huh. Age 54? He's 54 and he looks that thin and youngish? Really? He's 54. Like, I would assume this man is in his, like, 30s, mid-30s, maybe late 30s. But 54? Really? I mean, Van Zeeks is like 32. He looks in his 20s. Well, I mean, no, he's in his early 30s, so he could pass. McGilded is 48. Okay, that makes sense. Strongheart is 52. Really? You're telling me that man, who looks at the very least in his early to mid-40s, is 52? What are the ages in this game? And one further item of evidence. The prosecution wishes to submit these as well.
And these are... Good lord! Is that blood, Counsel?
Yes, my lord. Seized by a policeman who arrived at the scene. These gore-soaked gloves were taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested. Where was I? Sorry, I just got a call from someone. Alright, what we got here? Taken from the hands of the accused when he was arrested, right. What? Mr. McGilded's gloves had blood on them? Yeah, Mr. McGilded, you couldn't tell me this?
Yes, I will accept these as evidence as well.
Jeez, Mr. McGilded, what, like, seriously? How did I get into this? I'm backed into a corner before I even started. Continuing. According to the driver of the omnibus, there were only 2 passengers traveling inside his vehicle at the time. Only 2? Obviously, one of those passengers was the deceased brickmaker, Mr. Mason. The other was the accused, Magnus McGilded. Yeah?
Well, rather damning circumstances, to say the least. Defendant, what say you?
Well, of course, I have no recollection of such a thing. Mr. McGilded. To be sure, I rode the omnibus that evening. But whenever I'm in a carriage, I'm taken with a fierce tiredness, and I always succumb to it.
Are you claiming to have been asleep?
'Tis the motion of the carriage, my lord. Lilt in it, so it is. So, when I opened my eyes again, 'twas a desperate sight before me. The body of a man I never laid eyes on before in my life. Now, I ask you, what good-hearted soul wouldn't rush to help a fella bleeding from his stomach? I wasn't about to start worrying about my gloves now, was I? I reached out to give the man a hand. That doesn't explain the... Oh, that's part of the gloves, never mind. Not the cut mark. Wait, why is there only blood on one glove, actually? I mean, if you went to help the man bleeding, wouldn't there be blood all over this glove? Not, like, right near the... whatever you call this piece of skin between the pointer and thumb. This is definitely blood, isn't it? No, it's strawberry jam. Not the most pleasant sight to be confronted with on our first day in London. Well, nothing will come of grumbling now. No. By the way, is Mr. McGilded right-handed? Yes, I believe so. He was toying with a coin in his right hand earlier. Ah, pity. If only he'd been left-handed. I think blood on either glove would be fairly incriminating, really. Well, fine then. Unfortunately, that statement of the driver's is only the beginning. What? That's not all of it? There were multiple witnesses to the precise moment at which the brickmaker was fatally stabbed. And that is where we're gonna end things off. We're like an hour in now, so I figure this is probably the best place we can get to, just in case anything is. I know what's coming next, and this is basically the final part before we can really get into the trial. So, yeah. So yeah. Anyways, next time we're gonna get further into the trial. See what happens. Obviously. Maybe talk to some witnesses and whatnot, and yeah. I'm gonna listen to the voices I made up in post-recording while I'm looking over stuff. What was I saying? Yeah. Yeah, okay. Sorry, I'm just looking at something else for a second. Yeah. I apologize if you don't like the voices, if they sound bad. I mean, I'll try to change them, but I don't know what to do because, for one, I feel like Lord Strongheart's voice is perfect because he looks like the type of person to have a deep voice. You know what I mean? Plus, Ben Zeke's voice, I don't think his voice is that deep, but actually, yeah. Hold up. I already saved my game, so I'm good. Let's head to the extras menu because I believe he has voice clips or something like that. Let's see. What does he have?
The quintessential look of a sacrificial lamb.
See, it does kind of have that gravelish tone, but not to the point that I do it, right?
Lord Strongheart has told me all about you. That you're a student who arrived in London but 2 days ago. A mere amateur.
Yeah, okay. So, well, whatever. Fine then. Anyways, next time we're gonna continue on with the trial, and yeah. So, I will see you all in the next video.